from a bandiwala to a five-star hotel. Everyone were using our product. We were the king in terms of food manufacturing back in 1990s and 2000s. And being such a big market, there's a lot of noise. And if you're not heard, then you're nowhere. I had spilled hot curries on my hand, hot oil on my hand. And in India, you know, right? Emotions बिकते हैं, product तो नहीं बिकता है, but emotions is what I'm trying to focus on.
I met Rritesh at the Lab 32 cohort at T Hub, and I was surprised that someone who has so many years of business experience is once again sitting in a room full of startup founders. We randomly met, and I just found that we both have a common string, that is a love of networking and love of entrepreneurship. But he has so many years of experience, and I thought he still dared to do this journey of entrepreneurship once again. I was very excited to know about how is he doing this the second time. What are those lessons that he's taking forward in his second innings? So today we are here wanting to hear his story at Storyflow, and let's know more about Ritesh. So Ritesh, how are you in Hyderabad? Have you been a Hyderabadi always?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me on your show. And yes, I am Hyderabadi by heart, a pure biryani lover. Though I am supposed to be a vegetarian by roots, but then I love eating non-veg and I cook non-veg very well.
Wow.
And if you are in Hyderabad, you are supposed to have a non-veg biryani.
Yeah.
So anything apart from Hyderabad biryani is not biryani. Let me say
I
that.
know.
And yes, so born and brought up here in Hyderabad. I've been doing my schooling and my graduation from here, and then I moved to different places to complete my studies. So yeah, Hyderabadi from heart and Hyderabadi,
Nice.
Pakka Hyderabadi.
I'm a vegetarian, and I know all my friends keep telling me you are having pulao, not biryani. So I get it.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yes.
So, how have you seen this entire landscape of Hyderabad changed over these years because you've lived here and grown up here?
Well, yes, there is a lot of transformation which has been done in the city, and I do remember when our leaders 10 years back after the bifurcation, they said that we aim to make Hyderabad as good as Singapore. So I could see that happening now. Previously, it was just like a joke to me. I mean, for lot of many people, because the way the government has been evolving over a period of time, and of course the responsibility of people has also been addressed. So I definitely feel that Hyderabad is the happening place in the country. You take it technology wise or infrastructure and the kind of cosmopolitan population that we have here. So Hyderabad is like Hyderabad is open for everyone. It's
Yeah.
like arms open, wide open.
Yeah, because I'm not from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
I am born and brought up in Calcutta, in the state of Bengal.
Yeah.
And of course, lived in different parts of the country. But when I made my way to Hyderabad, I really fell in love with this city. So it really opened arms to not
Yes.
just meet so many other people from other parts of the country.
Absolutely.
So I get that, really.
Thank you.
So, this the thing that really struck me is that you started up again,
Yes.
right? What do people around? What did people around you say when you said I want to do something new altogether?
Well, there's a point in your life where you have to take a strong decision that you need to move on from what you exactly have, right? You need to achieve more. As a human, we always have a greed to achieve more and to fulfill your wants and make yourself more happy. You're never content with what you have, right? So that is the human nature. So in my first business, it was all about my fulfilling my passion. When I started way back in 2010, in fact, I started from my bedroom. I would like to say, upgraded my business to my car's bonnet, and from there, I expanded my business to a parking lot.
Wow.
To be very honest for that. And then when I bought a rented apartment, I converted two of my bedrooms into a store, and I used to sleep in the hall. and from there my journey began. And slowly, when I started getting more response, I moved into a proper commercial outlet and office. And the last 10 years I have been in that place. So somehow that place has also been adding a lot of luck, I would say,
Yeah.
and the vibes of Mother Nature,
Yeah.
right? And of course, the owner of the property is also very kind and allowing me to stay there within my boundaries.
Right.
So from there I moved on, and I always wanted to get into my existing field, which is robotics, because my family has been into food and beverage and hospitality over a period of time. And when I was a kid, I used to explore all these restaurants way back in. During then, we used to have Paradise as one of the restaurants in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So we used to manufacture all these ketchups and chili sauce and all that. And so right from a bandiwala to a five-star hotel, everyone were using our products. So we had a very popular brand then, which is like V-Bar at the moment. So we were the king in terms of food manufacturing back in 1990s and 2000s. And since then, being a Gujarati, you are always into, your blood is into business. So I used to travel with my dad, and after my tuition and study, I used to understand how the business is done. And he used to put me onto the counters, cash counters sometimes, and he used to give me like, go and deposit the check, right, and go to the bank, and I used to come back how to write it. So somehow I gained that from my family. And then when I moved abroad to do my masters, my father said, I'm just going to push you over there. After that, you need to take care of your education, your life, and all that. So when you're abroad, so as a student, you have to do odd jobs. So I was something good at in cooking. So I got a job in one of the most prime restaurant in Australia, in Sydney. So they said, no, you have to start as a waiter. So I said, okay, no problem. But then I knew what are the challenges that the food and beverage and the service staff goes through to get those delicious food on the table. Right. I had got nights where I had spilled hot curries on my hand, hot oil on my hand, and when you actually open up the biryani, you are supposed to take up in a copper pot, yeah, right? So at the one of them, I was not being given gloves as well. Yeah. So you need to have, you will see a burning hand, and it was all an experience. So that also put into my mind that if time comes, I would like to do something for the service staff and for the F&B department, F&B industry as a whole. So moving on there, then after my masters, I moved to Singapore. I was working with Marina Bay Sands, seven-star hotel, and there I was working with the technology department. There I have seen how efficiently technology is helping the humans, right, and the business, right, and the customer. Right. So it's like a win-win situation for everyone. But of course, so when I came back after setting up my first business, that was passion towards motorcycling, because I need to raise funds, right? Because technology always comes with a price. Yeah. So 10 years after running my business successfully in the auto mode, I finally decided to get into something which I love, which is into robotics. So again, there goes back to a movie called Terminator. Yeah. So where you see an all with a black leather jacket, yeah, with a Harley Davidson bike and a robot or a machine as well. So that is also something which is connected with my story at the moment. So then I started just a year back, I would say. Mm-hmm. So I when I got into this, a lot of people, they said, you are actually wasting your life getting into robotics, and India is a place where people will not appreciate what you're doing. Yeah. And I said, okay, no problem. Unless and until I don't burn my hands, I don't understand what this is. People will not know, right? Yeah. So with God's grace, and I would say because my first startup was helping me in terms of funding, I could actually sustain myself, because getting into robots and technology, something comes with a lot of price, and I did not wanted to burden myself and my family with debts and right, yeah, loans and all that. So I could sustain myself. I'm sustaining now as well. But then that is how it has been, that I was successfully able to come up into the robotics part. Again, the journey in robotics is like pretty vast and deep.
I know.
So I've spent sleepless nights understanding how the technology works. I've spent sleepless nights understanding how the machine works.
Right.
I've spent sleepless nights understanding how is it helpful for the Indian market, for the
Right.
Indian consumers.
And no one's done that.
No one's done that.
Very good.
In fact, I would say robotics has been in India for a long time, but more into the industrial robotics.
Yeah.
But commercial service robotics is the very first of its kind.
Right.
However, there are already some companies who has been using robots for the hospitality, but I would say they have not done justice to the client, to the business, and to the community as whole. This is after doing a lot of research and feedback that I have genuinely got from the business owners who's already using them. So and in India, right, we emotions बिकते हैं, product तो नहीं बिकता है, but emotions is what I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to address the pain points of how the technology can actually help and address the pain points of the business owners.
Right.
Obviously, when you are adapting technology, it becomes so much convenient and so much easy for a person to carry on their daily operations. Not only in that, if you could see right now, you will be seeing those mini vacuum cleaners, robotic vacuum cleaners, which are actually helping a lot of the wives, the household people.
Yeah.
So yes, I would definitely say that we will take some more time to adapt the new technology, but eventually we are humans, and
Yeah.
we keep on evolving, right? So who knew that UPI payments and Google Maps would be something which is being used by like everybody. So yes, I think we are there. We are there. It's just matter of time.
Yeah.
And
But you're the pioneer in this, I must say.
Thank you.
Because when I went to Vijeta supermarkets, I am a regular customer there, and I saw this robo moving around, and they were putting the Karachi biscuits there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, this is so cool because leaving everything else in the store, you would like to go and see what is the robo selling.
Exactly.
Right? And when I actually saw your story on WhatsApp that you've done that, and I felt that this is the kind of change we really want in India.
Right.
Because I must also appreciate Vijeta supermarkets.
Yes.
Because they have been trying to really transform the entire retail supermarket chain.
Exactly.
And the companies like that,
Yes.
only when they are early adopters and
Yes.
they want to embrace some people like Ritesh and their ideologies, only when this will go forward.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was like, I want to know more about this, and we should have more of such initiatives.
Right.
And when you just said that I started from my bedroom till my office space where the landlord was kind enough to support you. I think in entrepreneurship we really need people like that.
Exactly.
That's the support system we need.
Yeah.
Only because he supported you.
Absolutely.
Could think of the second
Absolutely.
one, right?
Absolutely.
So interesting that you know what you studied, you're taking it forward in an absolutely breakthrough manner.
Yeah.
Your experiences in different places, like you just said in Singapore, you saw those technology evolving.
Yeah.
But you are the kind of people who bring technology to India, right? So I must actually thank you for that at this moment.
My pleasure. So what I would like to add here is, again, things are already there.
Yeah.
But the way you need to change your strategy as per the place where you are in, that is more important.
Right.
This is what I feel.
Yeah. Just keep looking and you find the answers and keep
Yeah.
working for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
Even today we learn so many things from our own solutions,
Yeah.
because every client has a different pain point to be addressed.
Yes.
And everything is a learning, every day is a learning curve for us. Even today we explore so many new features. Oh, this is also possible with the help of technology and
Yeah.
robot.
And
So
Aman, you will get to know that
yeah,
while you work with the product, right?
absolutely.
Yes.
Sometimes it is the learning from the client.
Yes.
And he has come up with his own problem, and this is something like, a boom for
Right.
us. So
Right.
all that matters.
Great. So, Ritesh, one very like interesting question that I have, and that's the reason also that I've been wanting to talk to you, is that what are those business decisions that you were very sure of taking in the second time that you started up from your experiences of your first business?
What I feel here is, the decision what I have taken, and I decided to get into this particular part of robotics, that is the commercial service robot, because there are no players, number one, right? And if I am introducing these solutions at a very early stage, I know it's going to take some time, but down the lane, when people talk about robotics, it's you who that you come on in the mind,
Yeah.
right? So giving that kind of a marketing awareness, product awareness, solution awareness is very important, to take a decision and then enter into this field. And what I personally done is, since um, I have done my research and my survey, so I've actually traveled to a lot of countries after, when I was back, and then before starting this business, I understood how these technologies are performing in different countries, and is there any need for us to introduce here in the Indian market. But when I found that, a few of my own friends who has been into the food and beverage for a longer time, I see that they have been struggling with a lot of manpower issues. And though in a country like ours, where manpower is surplus, but stability of a work staff is something,
Yeah,
which is more
that's
challenging.
true.
We don't know whether our service staff is going to come tomorrow or
Right.
not, and we work with a lot of emotions again.
Correct.
So ultimately, it is the business who's actually suffering. It is the business owner and entrepreneur again,
Yeah.
who has to go through this nightmares. And initially, I did face a lot of problem, because it was very new for the country to people understand what exactly this is. But new category altogether.
That's very hard.
But then when I started marketing and displaying my solutions over social media to a group of my business owners, and participating in a lot of events, that is when people started relating their problems with the solution. So I actually started reverse. So people say that you do a market research and then you launch your product, but then other countries are performing very well. These solutions are being using phenomenally well in other countries, and definitely, I wanted to start a reverse manner. Show them the solutions; they will relate their problems to our solutions. So that is my reverse strategy, which
Right.
I followed here.
It is said that whatever is happening in US is going to come to India in maybe the next
Couple of years.
7 to 8 years in the
Yeah.
urban markets.
Yeah.
10 to 12 years in the the not so urban markets.
Yeah.
And more so the similar situation with Europe, right? So a lot of technologies and solutions that are today in Indian market have
Yeah.
come from there. I would just remind about even morning cereals that we have, Kellogg's, right?
Exactly.
That used to be a trend in US a lot, and
Yeah.
then it came to India,
Yeah.
right? Vacuum machines, right?
Absolutely.
So what you've done is that you've seen a pattern in international markets,
Yeah.
and you've tried to superimpose this with India in Indian context,
Exactly.
right? So when you said that, I started showing solutions. Did you like invest a good amount to get those solutions, or were you just using like some marketing materials to do so?
No, so technically, I did had some international marketing material, but for our consumers over here, that is irrelevant. They
Right.
will ask here कि आपने यहाँ पे क्या किया है?
Right.
Who is using it? Who,
Right.
who are your clients who's using solutions? For that, I have to burn a lot of my own funds. I have given a lot of free POCs, period of concept. So over almost like 6 to 8 months, it was just like offering my solutions at no cost.
Yeah.
But I knew that this is an investment that will help me in future. So I was actually sowing seeds then. I was doing farming then, but I could see the benefits now. And now we are at a stage that we don't offer any more paid free POCs, and it's only paid proof of concepts, because when we show it to clients, because we have got some good clients already onboarded on our profile, so it's already created an assurance factor saying that okay, this client or this brand is already using it, so there is something that my company has to offer.
Studies,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And I think for most startups, this is very important that you first create some proof that you've done something
exactly,
valuable for someone,
yeah,
right? And treat that part as an investment, like you said.
right.
So, what, like, I'm just trying to understand, because if someone is working in a high ticket business like yours, maybe something else, what kind of investment you're putting in the first 6 months? I mean,
A lot
say the
actually.
ballpark.
So let me take my own example. So I have easily burned somewhere around 20-25 lakhs already, but then I know that return is going to be 10x down the lane. But yes, so if you are getting into this tech zone and a futuristic concept, you definitely need to have that kind of financial backup or a financial support or funds already there, because you don't want any other player to come before you and
If
take
you're
the
the first
opportunity
mover.
if you are the first mover. Yes. So yeah, so that is the kind of investment what I had to go through to get these kind of concepts and solutions to
You
Indian
always
market.
wanted to do this by your fund and not take external financing?
Well,
Investing.
definitely I would be looking at for investment in future to scale up my business, because that's how every company goes. But at the moment, I am trying to make my portfolio stronger, so that more and more good brands, when they come in, and when I am showcasing my portfolio in front of investors, at least then I'll be on the same platform as the investors thought, right?
To get the right
To
kind
get the
of
right kind of
investor.
investors.
Yeah.
And also investors, again, I would be looking somewhere who can actually give me a lot of mentorship, that kind of connections and support, and not only the funds,
Yeah.
right? Because
I mean, yeah, because just getting the investment
yeah,
is not great, but in
absolutely,
the right direction.
yeah,
So good, because most people just actually want the funds. They don't look at the investor behind it.
exactly.
So that's great. So I see that the decisions that you've taken first is to create a category awareness. So in your first business, you were doing what? Can you explain that first?
Yeah. So, and my first business is mostly into apparel, motorcycle clothing. If you have seen bikers, now motorcycling is a growing trend right now, and a lot of international brands has already penetrated the Indian market, like the Harleys and the Kawasaki's and Tiger and Tram. So again, it's like a lifestyle business. So a person who's buying a bike and is passionate about riding, he definitely wants to protect himself from the risk on the roads. So being a passionate biker myself, and doing a lot of traveling on motorcycles when I was abroad, I found that gap in the market when I came here. So I started designing my own garment, and when I started wearing it, my friends in my group, they said, "This is something. Look, where did you buy it from?"
Wow.
So from one, I reached 10, from 10 to 100, and then I have developed my network of 58 dealers across the country, and my brand is like one of the third, leading brand, I would say, in India. In India, so right from a motorcycle jacket to gloves to riding pants to
Was
boots.
it again a new category that you were creating, or not?
For India, it was yes.
Yes, India.
Yeah, India it was yes, because way back in 2008, 2009, our consumer market was not very mature in terms of what kind of protection they need to have when they are riding. It's only about basic helmet, right? So in helmets also you have got n number of categories. So the stick garment also has a lot of abrasion resistance, and now I've also introduced some kind of a tech mechanism in the riding jackets. So it's again an evolvement of what
The
you do it.
product.
Yeah.
So what I see is that a common link in both of your companies is that you are taking your passion for the subject forward.
Yeah.
And second, and converting that into a viable business.
Yeah.
And second, a category awareness. You like to stand out every time, right? And you've done that in both of them.
Yeah.
So you have experience of creating category awareness,
Correct.
right? So you know that, okay, I'm going to go like this. Like in the second business, you were prepared that how long will it take,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Were you prepared in the first business so much?
Not really, because during that point of time there were hardly any players in the market.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much time for me to get to that stage. So I would say within less than a year, I already started monetizing on my products and solutions. And from second and third year onwards, I've already seen my networking in terms of dealers and distribution going from 1 to 58.
How was the experience with your first dealer?
Uh,
First dealer, like why did he decide to bet on you?
See, again, as I said, it's a lifestyle business,
Right.
right? So if a person sees something and if he says, "Oh, I should be having this because that will attract a lot of customers to my store," that is when they decide that they would like to
Right.
go in. And because that was my first B2B client,
Right.
and the kind of rewards that I was offering to my client was again very attractive. So not only the margins and the discounts which I offer, but also the kind of after sales service is where you need to be strong on. So that is something I have already desired to give to my customers. It's not only a product, which has to be a hand to hand support services even after you sell the product. So post that, once he has seen the kind of response that people were giving at his store, and then again, the trend of social media, the YouTube reviews and blogs thing happened. So we have got a lot of my own customers who are great influencers and vloggers. They started talking about the product, the benefits of it, and why riding it is important. So again,
where was he, your first dealer?
it was based out of Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bangalore.
because Bangalore and Pune were a very big market then. Of course, now a lot of places in India is flourished with motorcycles. But Bangalore was my first city where I have made my first dealer, and then
So from Hyderabad to
Bangalore. Yeah,
wow, it must have felt so good, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And now you're all over the country with the.
Yes, yes. So we are also moving into. We have already moved into a D2C model because people would like to order from the comfort of their home. So again, and bikers are something they have an impulsive bike that they are riding on Sunday, so they need the product on Friday and Saturday. So we are more towards the D2C brand right now. Though we are also having catering our dealers as well, but then we have expanded into D2C as well.
So, what is your suggestion to someone building a product, not like exactly yours, but something that it could be a D2C brand to start with B2B?
I think you should always start with a B2B. Why? Because your network is your strength, right? I mean, you can walk fast if you're walking alone, but then if you're having multiple hands, you can go a long way. So my suggestion is always start up with a B2B because that is where the major chunk of businesses, and that is where your growth is faster. And those point of contacts are the one who's actually going to convince your customers, right? And when your products are seen visible in different parts of the city, then the end customer also gets more confident about your products and services.
So your B2B is your first safety net, and
Yes.
then you can go to newer territories.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. So, Ritesh, you just mentioned that your network is your true strength, and if you want to go long, in life, far in life, you should not go alone. You should go with people around you who believe in you and who are your
Absolutely.
strength. And there is this aspect about networking that I feel that most founders struggle with.
Right.
They may have great products and ideas, but they are not able to market it, or they're not able to get the right customer segment at
Right.
times because their first touch points in network are not very strong.
Right.
So I have seen you that you focus a lot on being a good networker, right? And it sometimes comes naturally to us.
Hmm.
But there are people who don't get it naturally.
Hmm.
So what are your lessons for them, or just a guidance for those founders?
I was a very introvert before
Okay.
when I started my business,
Hmm.
but there is a point in life, you need to come out of your shell, your comfort zone. And being such a big market, there's a lot of noise, and if you're not heard, then you're nowhere.
Right.
So you need to be heard loud and clear. It's not only about marketing and social media and talking about your product. It's a very important thing is how you network with people, connect with people.
Correct.
Right, you need to come out of your comfort zone, that fear, and speak with as many people as you can, because every stage is a learning curve for you. Right, and there are so many forums that you could be a part of, which I have learned over a period of time. So in my first business, because it was into motorcycling, I was a speaker at a lot of motorcycle events. I used to communicate with a lot of international bikers when they travel from abroad to India, and to gain their experience, what is happening in the market. At the same time, I used to attend a lot of events where it was a platform for all the national bikers, where you are getting an opportunity, being a brand, to talk about what are the different ways that could your solution can help the people, and what you could learn from them.
Right.
Post that, when you're into your technology part,
Wait, I want to stop you here.
Yeah.
Just I want to ask you, when you said you attend a lot of events.
Yeah.
Now, attending events is the first step.
Right.
But what do you
Do
while
in that
you
event and connect
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's not only about attending the events. It's all about how you network with the right people.
Right.
You need to have that same thought process. You need to connect with the right set of mind of people to understand how he could actually help you in your learning curve. And at the same time, what are the takeaway that you could get from that platform. And also, never leave an opportunity where you get a platform to speak about you, about yourself. So that is somewhere you're going to overcome your fear.
Right.
I was, again, as I said before, that I have done blunders when I was doing a stage show, speaking in front of the audience. But then again, so there are different ways and experiences that you learn over a period of time. But definitely there are some very good programs which actually helps you in the way you speak, the way you present yourself, your body language. All that is very, very important finally when you meet your clients, right? Because your expressions, your body language, the way you present yourself, dress, is the very first impression about your business. So again, it's all about experience that I have learned myself. Even today, if I have to meet my client, I just prepare myself 2 days, 3 days before, as to what I need to wear, what kind of client is he. Is it a corporate client, or something I need to be casual, cool enough. So all these things are very, very important to to shape up your business and your strategies again.
Right. So you said that overcoming your fear is what it will take you to the next level.
Yes,
Even if you're
absolutely.
an introvert, you can actually get there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the second is your body language and how you present yourself. Right. So I think that it's important to kind of know where you're going, what you're going to be looked at, right? And yes, first impressions matter a lot. But the third point is what I want to ask you is that after you meet somebody, how do you stay connected?
Well, the first thing what we do is, you have to break the ice
Yeah.
with the person you're talking with, understand what they are into, and what they can actually help you in adding value to your learning growth. And of course, exchange cards. Maybe I personally would like to catch up them with a coffee to to make themselves more comfortable, and that also gives kind of an assurance and building trust with your
Right.
connections. So it's not always about when you meet up you talk about your business, and it's all about like being very generic about life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
How it happened with us,
how it
right?
happened, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've been always just chatting and exchanging perspectives on life and
Exactly.
thoughts.
Exactly.
And when I thought of thinking of who are those people I want to talk to in Storyflow, I could think of you.
Yes,
So I think you've done, like, I understand what you're trying to say, that break the ice, make them comfortable, and be warm and stay connected. Right?
absolutely. And somewhere, I when you actually relate yourself with the other person, you think that they definitely need an encouragement, right? So motivating them at at periodical times is
Yeah.
always important. That will also help you grow your relationship with your connections.
Right. So all those founders, I think that in spite of the daily firefighting, we should take our time to be connected with those people we
Absolutely,
met. Right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So now comes a very critical question, because most founders, including me, I will say, face one problem: is the right hire. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because to do anything you need more hands, right?
Yeah.
So how have you taken the lessons from your first business seriously in your second, your current startup, Prospero, to have the right team and to manage them right?
It's a little difficult question for me because being, taking a lot of learnings from my first startup.
Yeah.
Definitely, hiring the right kind of, resource is very, very difficult and challenging. But again, when you're hiring somebody, you definitely have to understand one thing, is that if that kind of recruit, does he believe or does she believe in your vision, right? Is their vision aligning with yours? And even if they are not very technically strong about what your exact business processes are, there is always a scope of making them understand and helping them in and shaping up them as per your want. But the very first important is the trust, that if you can relate that trust between your employees, the kind of vision that you are wanting, will they be able to give that to you?
Right.
And third thing is, how comfortable are they in taking up any task?
Right.
So in my organization, everyone knows everything. Okay.
There are
So
generalists and specialists.
absolutely. So we don't feel ashamed of doing cleaning odd jobs. Or I always clean my own desk.
Right.
My employees, I clean my employees desk sometimes, because if you're having the right kind of an attitude and an environment, I think your team will be very, very strong, and because your hires are your asset.
Right.
So that will definitely help you go a longer way.
And how do you like manage them? Do you do, like, as a leader? It's hard, right? You're going through so many phases in your mind, but
Yeah.
your team should not get affected with a lot of you. So how do you do that?
Well, I make a point that I always encourage and motivate them, and reward them with a lot of perks. That can be an outing, that can be chilled beer on a weekend, or maybe pubbing, or and taking them outside, just to ensure that they are in the comfort zone. So they're always motivated with what they are doing in the company, and at the same time ensuring that they are focused on their targets and what they're supposed to do. So I try to balance both of them. Of course, for me, my people comes first. So if I develop that bond with them, I can go any mile to help them out from any kind of situation. It can be emotionally or
But don't you
financially.
think that sometimes as leaders we have to be empathetic, and as humans we all are.
Yes.
But our levels of empathy and our levels of being there for our team, uh, actually puts us on a burning fire sometimes.
Yes, it does.
I mean, I don't know. I think that it's not just about your team, but in life, we have faith in wrong people, and then we learn our lessons. And the similar goes with our team, right?
Hmm.
But you've done it second time. It's your second business, and your first is still running. So how have you been able to manage that?
See, there are many times I feel that have made a wrong hire,
Mm.
but then of course you cannot fire them,
Yeah.
right? It's just that you need to put them on the best use of what they are capable of,
Right.
and try to find out an alternative what actually suits your requirement, right? And these learnings are, again, I cannot say that we are at 100% we can hire the right person or right people. So even now, when I hire people, I somehow feel after 6 months saying that I should have put him on a different task. But
Do you pivot very soon? Like after that, do you take that change?
no, because I personally believe that 6 months is something that you should be giving it to to anybody who's joining new. You should give them some time. But post that, if it's been a long time and if they're still not able to cope up, then there is something not right happening with the kind of communication or the understanding or the work processes, I would rather say. But again, I would say there is no 100% strategy that we can say that you're still learning. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I think most founders, when they make blunders in hire, they just hate themselves.
Yeah.
But if a person like you is saying that I'm still learning, we should not take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us, Ritesh, how have you changed over these many years? And in your second business, what are you taking so seriously and all of this?
I think the work balance is very important. You need to ensure that you give time to yourself, you give time to your health, you give time to your family, and ultimately you should be happy at the end of the day. So no matter what, you just can't afford to work 24 by 7, because that will definitely affect you in a longer term.
Right.
So you definitely need to ensure that you're eating well, you're sleeping well.
So are you now eating at right times?
Yes, I'm trying to cope up with that, but still, I need to follow what I'm saying, right? So, but yes, I'm actually balancing my work hours. I start off like 9 o'clock in the morning, ensure that at least 30 minutes is going into meditation and
Has
staying fit.
meditation changed your
Yes, meditation is staying a lot. And of course there are times where nothing works out well in your favor, and you think that I'm doing so much but there are no results, right? But I think it's just it's a matter of time. You just need to walk along with the time. You can stay ahead but you can't stay, so you just leave everything on time. And I do follow and have a belief in affirmations and the almighty. So you definitely need to demand to universe, and universe will give back to you. I personally have experienced that. But when I used to follow, I used to hear it from a lot of coaches and business development coach that you need to do affirmations, and I say यार कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं ये लोग, ऐसा थोड़ी ना मिलेगा. But then you need to have faith in that.
Yeah.
And staying self motivated is something which will drive you a long way.
Yeah. So yes, affirmations help a lot.
Yeah.
And as a founder, as an entrepreneur, no one is going to come and tell you those lines.
Yes.
So you have to tell that for yourself. At
Yes.
least when you're working for someone, your manager is going and telling you those lines sometimes, or
Yes.
your team members are.
Yes.
So I get that. Yeah. Coming to one other part of entrepreneurship that actually I think is a synonym for entrepreneurship
Mhm.
is resilience,
Mhm.
right? How are those days when it feels everything has gone down the drain, you should shut everything? How do you come out of that and how do you feel?
Well, coming back to the same story of resilience, I personally felt of shutting down what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But then you need to go back and think that how far you have come, right? If you were not confident enough, if people were not having faith in you, had you come a long way. So that kind of self motivation is something that
Reflecting back on your
yes,
journey is
yes.
very
So you
important.
need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in what you're currently doing, and not to lose out your hopes very soon. Let people talk about whatever they want, and but ultimately it's the one who's actually going to drive it. At the end, only you can save your back.
That's true. No one's coming to
No
save
one
you.
comes to save it you. So
Who's your best on those days, were those people who are actually cheering you up or helping you see clearly?
My father, actually,
Okay.
because he definitely has a lot of trust in what I'm doing, because he has seen the way,
The
I
seeds
have,
like,
yeah, evolved from my first business.
right,
And so he always motivates me, and he encourages me, even if I'm wrong. He doesn't point out saying that you are doing something wrong, because he knows that I will learn from my
right.
mistakes.
He
Right?
lets you learn from
He
your
lets me learn
mistakes.
from my mistake. So my father has been a very strong support. Of course, mother is always there to help
Yeah.
you out
Yeah,
emotionally.
but if someone who hasn't been there, they
Yes,
won't understand the way.
exactly.
Yeah, so we really need at least that one person in life that who's gonna tell you and make you see things clearly and be there unconditionally on those days, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's talk about Prospero. That I must say that you're doing something breakthrough.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you are actually you're having the courage to face the unknown. Okay, it's actually the unknown, and you're going forward, smashing it. Okay, I mean, if you don't feeling it, I'm telling you that. Okay, from the outside,
Thank
right?
you.
So tell us that what's your vision for Prospero and where are you right now? Where do you want to go?
So, firstly, Prospero is a dynamic company with a dynamic team,
Right,
right? With Because of my team, I'm able to actually achieve so many things which have been coming on the way.
right,
And Prospero is more about providing solutions to address the pain points and the challenges what a business is going, but definitely in a unique manner of artificial intelligence and robotics. It's a tough platform, I would say, but then again, we have been helping a lot of businesses to try to optimize their operations, their operational cost, helping out with them with
can you give one case study?
yeah.
Small one. Any business that has really been helped by us, Prospero.
Yeah, so let me give you a very classic example of my first client, who is a womanpreneur,
Okay.
and post COVID, she want to start her own cafe. But again, when she started, she was facing a lot of problem in terms of manpower, work issues, and she did not want to give up her dream. So, in fact, when we went for a demonstration, we found out that she is in a lot of trouble in terms of streamlining her operations,
Right.
right? Where we have seen her, right from taking the order to serving to her own client, and also juggling between the kitchens,
Right.
right? A lot of running here and there. So, what we have done is we have actually given our robot to use it, right?
Okay.
Because I really wanted to help her out in fulfilling her dream. And also it was a learning curve for us to help us understand what could be the teething problems when the bot is actually deployed. But in a month's time we could see that with the help of just two staff and one chef, she was able to run her show
Wow.
seamlessly, without any hiccups. And of course, from a paid POC, she became a client. And with that testimonial and review, it actually boosted up our confidence to reach out to more and more
Right.
consumers. So it's like you always start up with your basic. You don't have to always go to a top client or target a HNI. You can start with the roots, start with the basic. If you are solving their problem, definitely that is going to give us the confidence to make your solutions much more efficient.
Right.
And now we are at a stage that we have got some good brands on our portfolio.
Yeah, I saw that you were at G20. So tell me your G20 experience.
It happened so that we participated in one of a very big event called Imagine, which happened in Bombay, and that platform boosted us our visibility, because a lot of organizers who are at a very top level and organize huge big massive shows,
Right.
so they are also conducting G20. So it happened so that in one of the G20s, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was one of the chief guests. They wanted a very autonomous solution where they didn't want any intervention of any manual intervention.
Right.
So their bots actually were used in terms of giving an autonomous tour about the different stalls that were set up at G20. Suppose that we have done three G20s right now, and just last month we got I think we were we feel honored that we are the first person who were one of the vendors for the grand inauguration of Yashobhumi, the biggest convention, international convention.
I saw him
Yeah,
tweeting about
yeah.
this.
So even there, Prime Minister, we our bots were used for welcoming them, and our bots were used for assisting and serving refreshments to 5,000 plus people.
Wow.
So that is again a very big opportunity for us, which has actually boosted our profile. And now, yes, so that way, all these together has
So
been
one
a
thing
lot
led
of
to the
value
other.
led to the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said that you participated in an exhibition
Yeah.
and you took the risk to be there, right?
Correct.
So I think someone who's trying to make the breakthrough, you should take the risk to
Absolutely.
be in a place where you feel what I'm going to be there.
Exactly.
It's like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's your vision for Prospero in the next 1 year?
My vision is to help a minimum of 500 business owners to automate their business with the help of technology.
Right.
And Modi ji also informed in one of his speeches that har ghar mein robotics, har vyapar mein robotics.
Right.
So I see that happening. So I think in the next 5 years we'll be. I'm having a goal of becoming a popular name among all the businesses and all the households.
You want to democratize robotics.
Absolutely.
So that's a very cool thought, democratizing robotics in India. I think I'm hearing it from the first person, and that's why you're the pioneer. So, but there is a general notion robotics is very expensive. If someone wants to even take it, oh, you know what, it sounds great, but I don't think so I can afford it. Or even if I can, I don't know will it be a great solution. So, can
Right.
you tell us on that?
So yes, anything which is new to eyes and
Right.
anything which we have not experienced
Right.
always definitely sounds expensive unless and until we don't touch and feel it. We don't experience it personally. I would say technology will help you in many ways, not only in enhancing your business, your customers' perception, at the same time, multifold your
Yeah.
business 10 times, right? And with the help of the robotics, if you see, it is actually not replacing humans, but it is replacing tasks, right? So that humans can stay free from those mundane and repetitive tasks, and they can stay more focused on better productive works, right? So that was the first myth that I would like to clear among the audiences, that robots are not here to replace humans. It is there to take care of the repeated activities. Right. And we have seen a lot of our own customers who has actually invested and assuming that it's going to be expensive, but then they have seen a good returns from the 6 month onwards. Right now we are also coming up with we are trying to grow our network pan India by appointing dealers and distributors, right? So we are looking at people who could actually give more time and understand the concept. It's like you need to understand the problems of your customer and then see how robotics can help them and try to address them, right? So we are not targeting any investors or any business owners who could just fund the product and solution,
So
because
they can make money out.
So because they will not justify neither the business nor the clients, right? So we are very I mean, we are not very aggressive in terms of appointing dealers, because we want to ensure that the right source and the right people coming on board does justice to the business and to the product itself.
right. And what is the kind of pricing you have if someone wants in different sectors, of
Yeah,
course?
so I would say that robots were expensive at one point of time, but the over a period of time, as technology has evolved, and considering the volumes,
Right.
right, because a lot of countries have started using robotics in
Right.
their businesses, so the cost has actually drastically come down. So if I have to talk about my robots, they start from 5 lakhs onwards. I don't think 5 lakhs is a very big amount to invest in your business
Correct.
and to at least address the solution that you're getting.
Right.
So we always tell people that we don't sell robots. We are here to give you solutions.
It's
And
like buying any logistic services for
yeah,
yourself. Like if you were investing in a car, or
absolutely.
in a machine,
Yeah.
just that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, why are you investing in a car? Because it's a convenience,
Correct.
like it's kind of a status that you have.
Yeah.
So it's something that the same thing with the robotics as well.
Right, right. So what kind of people are you looking to collaborate with or to be your customers?
So, our robotics solutions can be used in multiple business domains. So, the primary market what we are targeting is the food and beverage, hospitality, education, retail, uh, aged care,
Age care,
yeah,
yeah.
aged care, healthcare, and also airports. We have actually deployed robots in airports to help the passengers to go to different zones, and so these are the primary segments that we are targeting. But eventually what we have seen is entertainment and events is also something which is
It's
emerging a lot,
Right.
and people would like to see something new, innovative all the time. So these are the primary market that we are targeting at the moment,
Yeah.
and we are always open for people who could actually add value to our company by getting their own experiences and coming
Yeah.
up with innovative ideas. So we always welcome people
To
from
work
that
with
to work with
Prospero,
Prospero. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So we are looking at changing those industries where a lot of manpower is required with
Yeah,
repetitive tasks.
absolutely.
Right. Of course, quality manpower is not what robots can actually change, because the human mind cannot be
Exactly,
changed. Right.
exactly.
So you're helping the business owner get that talent that is going to add value more than the mundane task.
Absolutely,
Right. Yeah.
absolutely.
Great. So you're building in Telangana. So how is it the ease of business here for you?
Telangana, since being a hometown, I always wanted to start up with my home
Right.
and then spread my wings across.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I have to burn a rocket, so the first thing has to be from my home.
Yeah.
So that way,
Has it been very easy to do business here?
in Telangana, yes.
Yeah. I mean, for what, on what aspects, or what has been hard as well?
Okay, so in terms of the policies and the kind of support that we get from the government, also has actually helped. In fact, I've been incubated in T Hub, and that platform has also helped me a lot in terms of learning curve, in terms of connecting with
Right. That's how
other
very
industries.
connected.
That is very connected.
Yeah.
That way, it has been helping me a lot. But yes, to get my first client was very difficult, and that was from Telangana again.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to have my home town to be my first customer, and then go
That
to
happened
different
here.
places. That happened here.
Great. So it was really good hearing your story,
Thank you.
because I could relate it a lot as an entrepreneur. And I feel we should keep having these conversations and validate our own experiences. Sometimes this journey is so lonely and so hard, right? So
True.
we have something special for you.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So, this is a hamper collected with love from various startup founders around Hyderabad. Today's episode is highlighting one of my favorite tech brands from Hyderabad, Mivi. Mivi was started by Vishwanath and Midhula, two Hyderabadis who quit their US jobs and started in 2015 in Hyderabad. Today, they are India's third largest market leader. It's interesting that they are not just assembling stuff, they are manufacturing everything here in Hyderabad. Not importing, not assembling, but manufacturing. In just 8 years, they are ruling the Indian market and giving India high quality audio accessories at happy prices. I just thought that, you are bringing such a unique tech to India, and this tech brand definitely finds a great sync with you in this episode.
Thank you for this lovely gifts, Archita, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from my new Mini earpods. Also, it was a pleasure being at the Storyflow and sharing my story. I'm definitely looking forward to all other stories here. Thank you so much for having me at your show.